up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.
You are listening to Pizain's podcast.
I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna
Welcome to another episode of Pizain's podcast. I am your host, Pizain the Pizain. Before we get started, don't forget to follow, subscribe, download our podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. And I'm going to go one step further. Tell your friends, share online, let people know about the Three Bozos and Pizain's podcast, because one day I would like us to grow large enough that we could start shilling boner pills on mid-rolls and pre-rolls, when we start these podcasts. Nobody wants to listen to it at the beginning, maybe in the middle. And then as this podcast will grow, so will your penis. With the boner pills I'll be shilling, which will fund this and give us better equipment so we can make a better product. There you go. Yippee-yo. Social media. Don't forget to follow us on X, TikTok, and Instagram. Give us a follow, give us a comment. We really appreciate it. Let us know you're out there and just say hi. Tell me to fuck off. I don't care. Whatever. I'll look at them all. I'll respond to them all. I'll probably give you a little heart react if you tell me to fuck off. That's fine with me. I don't care. Eddie Doos is good doos. So anyway, first off, let's talk about bay. Today was a busy day. We got the new office for the new building for, our company. And there's about 1,000,001 fucking things that have to be done before you can move in. So today, Pizain the Pizain was buying furniture, office desks for everyone, getting keys made. I had to make 24 keys. Yeah, 24 copies of keys for everybody. It took like 45 minutes and it was like $100 and something. Not cheap for a bunch of keys, but hey, we need them. What if I lose one? Well, I got 24 replacements. Then after that, I went to the old sign store because, well, you have to put your business name on the front of the door. And I show up and I go into the sign store and a woman comes out from behind the counter to help me. The first thing she says is, "I'm sorry, our internet is down." So she handwrites all my requests. We went through everything. Long, arduous, process. And we got to the end. And then she tells me, "Okay, this will be done in 2 weeks because we're going on vacation next week." So I didn't say anything, but as I left the building, I said to myself, well, you apparently don't want my business. So I will be finding a new sign company tomorrow because apparently their vacation is more important than putting the business name on my door for the office that I'm going to be working at. Yeah. Well, other than that, I don't think anything else went on today. Just a lot of running around. Oh, I went into a bookstore today. Me and Bose, when we were, in our late teens, we would go to this Books A Million. I don't know if you know about Books A Million. It's like, Barnes and Noble. And we would hang out there. They had a coffee shop in there, and there was a cute girl I used to flirt with in a different, separate timeline where I never met my wife, That never happened. Before her, there was nobody. It was just nobody and then my wife. But in this separate timeline, there was a cute coffee girl I used to flirt with. So the sign store was right next to the, before I get to that. So Haven, Bose and I would go there and we'd get coffees and we'd smoke our Black and Milds out front. They had a little, patio area. smoking our blacks. We call them the Blizzacs. We used to work at a Hess station together back when they had Hess stations. I think they're all gone now. And we'd go out for, a cigarette break, but it was black and milds, and we call it our Blizzac Brizac. So, yeah, this is what we would do at Books a Million, too. One time, we go to visit the coffee girl, and there's this guy there, obviously hitting on her. And he thought he was hot shit. He tells her, trying to make her laugh, Books a Million? They should call it Books a Billion. Crickets. And then he left, and we laughed at him. So, seeing as the sign store was right next door to Books a Billion, I decided to peek my head in. I like a good book. I like to read. Let's see, maybe I could find me a book, maybe in the bargain bin or some shit like that. So I go in, and lo and behold, they have gotten rid of the coffee shop. I was craving a coffee. Midday lull, lunchtime. Your biorhythms are in a downswing at that time. So, yes, no coffee for Pizain the Pizain. I asked, I'm like, you got rid of the coffee shop? And then 3 Zoomer young people who I have a hard time identifying with these people now. All 3 of them looked like they didn't respond to any certain gender. They said, yeah, we got rid of it. Like I was some dumbass plebeian who didn't know. Like, they looked at me like I don't read books. Like I'm some stupid man. And what they don't know is I've probably read more books than all of them put together, and they work at a fucking bookstore. Pathetic. So anyway, I walked around the bookstore, and I looked around, and the books are so fucking expensive now. $20 for a paperback. That's fucking ridiculous. So I go over. My purpose was I was going to look for the Silmarillion, the book that me and Brooks talked about on Three Bozos last episode. You can catch it. It's out. Please listen. It's a good one. Me and Brooks go for a long time. Talk about a lot of nerdy shit, including Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion. Silmarillion. I'll get it one day. So I find the Silmarillion, and it's, get this, $50. $50 for a fucking book. So I said, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Keep it. I can order this shit off of Amazon for like $10. Fucking no wonder Books a Million and Barnes and Noble and everything else has gone out of business. They're price gouging. Thanks, Biden. Thanks. I told about 3 different jokes there I've stolen from people today. I think Brooks told me the Thanks, Biden one. But hey, they're not on the podcast. I am. So I am claiming it. Ha 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 ha. And that concludes the day in the Pizain the Pizain. Had a nice dinner. Salmon. As Javier would make fun of me. I had a nice dinner. Salmon with some mixed vegetables and some sweet potato fries with some low sodium ketchup. On to the news. No, seriously, we're going on to the news. Okay, well, I guess the big news of the day is Hunter Biden convicted on all charges. So he is officially a felon now, just like Donald Trump. They're 2 peas in a pod. Except for one of the peas in the pod is, well, full of crack. The other pea probably has spray tan poisoning. But nonetheless, they're still in the pod of the peas. Hunter Biden's legal woes are not over after his conviction of 3 felony firearm charges in a trial that puts a spotlight on his drug-fueled past. He's facing sentencing, but he has another criminal trial on tax charges in the middle of his father's re-election campaign. Oh, no. Jurors found Hunter Biden guilty on Tuesday after just 3 hours of deliberations. Over 2 days in the federal court in Wilmington, Delaware. The case stemmed from a gun Hunter Biden bought in 2018 while his prosecutor said he was in the throes of a crack cocaine addiction. So the sentencing, he was convicted of lying on a mandatory gun purchase form by saying he was not illegally using or addicted to drugs, and the 3 counts carry up to 15 years in prison. Well, if you listen to me regularly, you would have heard me say 15 years. That's because I am stupid and I don't know how to do math. It's 25 years maximum. Excuse me. But whether the president's son actually serves any time behind bars will be up to U.S. District Judge Marilyn Noreika, who was nominated to the bench by Donald Trump. They're saying first-time offenders don't get anywhere near the maximum sentence. Basically, they're saying he's probably not going to get any jail time. He'll get like probation, house arrest maybe. But you don't know. Maybe they'll prove a point. He is a Donald Trump judge. Maybe he'll be like, fuck you, Hunter. You're going to jail, bitch. And, well, we'll see what Joe Biden says after that, because he said that he would continue to respect the judicial process as Hunter considers an appeal, and that he would not pardon his son. I doubt that. But, you know what? There's a whole bunch of shit here. It says appeal is likely. There's other legal problems. We'll get to that in a second. Let's go back to the appeal. The pardon that Joe Biden will give his son. What's going to happen? And I'm fucking whizzing the Pizain Nostradamus here. I'll tell you what will happen. They're going to appeal it. It's going to delay. He's going to have that other trial in California. Whatever happens with that, appeal that, delay. Then you get either in November, Joe Biden gets elected. He can't serve another term anyway. Or Donald Trump gets elected and he has his lame duck period. And during that period, he's going to pardon his son. And yeah, because that's what a father would do to bail his kid out. I've said before, I don't blame Joe Biden if he did that. Would it be morally consistent with his entire message? No, it wouldn't. But you do what you do for your kids. And, well, he's a fuck up, but he's your son. So let's go into those other legal problems. So Hunter Biden's trial on tax charges in California is scheduled to begin September 5th. So he's charged in the California case with 9 felony and misdemeanor tax offenses, where they stem from what federal prosecutors said was a 4-year scheme to skip out on paying $1.4 million he owed the IRS. And that he used the money to fund an extravagant lifestyle, which by his own admission include drugs and alcohol. The president's son has since repaid the back taxes. And so right now he has been convicted of 3 felonies. And now he has another 9 felonies that on top of that. He's still nowhere near fucking Donald Trump numbers. That's fucking rookie numbers right there. What is that? 3 plus 9, 12. 12 versus what? 32 or 36? Yeah. Fuck you, Hunter. Fucking Donald Trump. He's got you beat. Yeah. can't even get that all in one case, like Mr. Donald J. Trump there. You got to split it up between two different cases. What a bitch. So what is funny about all of this is the next story, which is Biden and gun control advocates want to flip an issue long dominated by the NRA. So groups pushing tighter gun laws have been building political muscle through multiple elections, boosted by the outcry following mass shootings at schools and other public places, in addition to the nation's daily gun violence. So basically, this is all about NRA bad, Joe Biden good, go against all that stuff. It's about the mass killings and things like that. These are okay. We got a lot to unpack there. First, let's do the Hunter Biden, Joe Biden connection there. It's kind of rich how you have crack addict Hunter Biden, his son, buying a sweet ass Colt Cobra 38 revolver while on crack, using the I guess lying on a federal gun form. And then you got gun grabber Joe Biden on the other side. It's hypocritical is what I'm saying. It's kind of hypocritical. But having said that, let's get on to what they're saying. So mass shootings. First off, you have to define what is a mass shooting. So a mass shooting is considered 3 or more people. I think that's a lot of the statistics that you see. It includes 3 or more people. The vast majority of mass shootings come from handguns, and nobody's trying to grab handguns. No, they're trying to get what they call assault rifles. Assault rifle is a made-up term used in this. Define what an assault rifle is. A high capacity rifle, that's something, you could say that, but assault rifle is really just a made up term that's just been hammered over and over and over. So that's what people know it as. It's kind of like the don't say gay bill with DeSantis, when it's really like the Parents Rights Act. It's an act for the parents to be more involved in that, and not. You should really read into what that bill actually has. Now, has he kind of gone a little overboard since then? Maybe a bit. But that initial bill was just a political smear campaign on DeSantis. Nowhere in there does it say anything, don't say gay, or does it, any of that stuff. It was all about not teaching sexuality to children, like up to like age 4. Who the fuck's against that? What kind of immoral, jerk off do you got to be against that? No, it's a political hit job. So you turn it into a social, a social, I don't know, headbutting kind of thing. I can't think of the right word. I know headbutting doesn't come off well, but you kind of get my point. All right. It's the same thing with all this stuff with the assault rifles. So take a scary term so we can get these banned. These mass shootings with assault rifles don't happen very often. As much as the news would like to tell you they happen often, they don't. Unfortunately, when they do happen, they are catastrophic. And it's incredibly sad to see children just completely be mowed down by, psychopaths. But in the grand scheme of things, if you want to go by statistics, handguns are by far the biggest proponent of mass shootings in the country. You're not going to take handguns away from people. What they consider assault rifles is a slippery slope, because it is a rifle. And, there's a lot of hunting rifles that can shoot, as many rounds just as fast. but they don't have that scary, stock on them, and they don't look tactical. It's all about appearances, really. So, it's kind of all over the place on that one. Basically, I'm just gonna say, you're not taking my guns away from me, Joe Biden. But so that's always gonna be one of those big debates. Gun control, abortion. These are the two big ones. I don't think I'm missing one too. But anyway, yep. Battling the NRA. NRA is like kind of shady too. They are pretty powerful. They're a huge lobby for this sort of thing. But oh well, I'm kind of fading on that topic. We're gonna kill it. Let's move on to something a little more fun. The Boys, Amazon's hit superhero satire show, will end with season 5. Well, season 4 is the one that's coming out soon. And then there's going to be one more after that. That is, and Brooksy Boy and I touched on The Boys. The Hobby too. That was 2 episodes ago on 3 Bozos. If you haven't heard that, I think that was episode 6. Go ahead and give it a listen. You can find it wherever you listen to your podcasts. And The Boys, like I said, it started off pretty good. A lot of shock stuff, the whole thing was, if you ever read the comic, it's even more shocking. They got a lot of really fucked up stuff in that. And then you could kind of tell they were doing like a political agenda thing. I don't like how they tried to make Homelander Donald Trump like synonymous with him. That's pretty fucking stupid. Season 2 had a whole big thing with Nazis. Let me tell you something about Nazis. I'm getting so fucking sick and tired of hearing about Nazis. If you were to believe what you saw on TV, you would think there's like a Nazi like hiding in your fucking closet or under your bed. They have made that such a big boogeyman. Yeah, we all understand Nazis suck. They're bad. Okay, we get it. But I think that they have been propped up as this huge boogeyman. Like there's this massive, group of Nazis out there that anytime is ready to take over government and take over the world. And it's going to be the Third Reich again, or Fourth Reich, or whatever the Reich was after the last Reich. I don't fucking know. I don't keep up on that shit. Because you know why? Because I don't fucking care about Nazis. I hate the whole Nazi obsession. I can't fucking turn on my Netflix without seeing a documentary about Hitler. Like World War II. Yeah, it was probably the worst thing that ever happened to the world, at least from a war perspective. But it's not the only fucking war that we ever had. And it seems like every single lesson we're supposed to learn about history is about World War II. Well, guess what? We also had the Vietnam War. We had the Korean War. We had the Afghanistan War. We had the Iraqi War where there was weapons of mass destruction. And, well, there were no weapons of mass destruction, which, by the way, I know Saddam Hussein was a terrible person, but as soon as we killed him, ISIS came up, who was twice as bad. So how about we learn our lessons from that bullshit before we, and not just World War II, and get hit over the head and beat that dead horse. Holy shit. World War II. We get it. Nazis suck. We get it. I don't need to see 72 documentaries about how Hitler used to, fuck goats while on meth or whatever. Okay. Jesus. Fucking Nazis. Anyway, there's not that many Nazis out there. I don't believe it. I believe that the whole white supremacy thing is a, false flag, I guess, or it's something to get you scared of that's not there. That is my opinion on that. Okay. So yeah, season 2 of The Boys had the Nazi chick in it. It was all right. And then, so now we got it. We had season 3, which had the dude from Supernatural. That was a pretty good season. It was okay. They've progressively gone down each season, but whatever. And then we got, we also had May That was her name, Maeve. I think it was Maeve. She had this whole like lesbian agenda thing coming out, and yeah, it was just like, oh, whatever. Just a whole bunch of social stuff. And now we got season 4, and probably Homelander running for president. Yeah. But I'll still watch it because it's entertaining enough, even though it's kind of off the wall. So I think I got one more thing. Oh, yeah. Apple Intelligence debuts. Apple kicked off its annual Worldwide Developers Conference yesterday, announcing its generative artificial intelligence strategy dubbed Apple Intelligence. The latest AI features will be integrated into newer versions of the iPad, iPhone, and blah, 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 increasing the ability to create custom AI generated emojis, photos, music, and messaging. And they are I've mentioned this in another Pizain's podcast, but they're partnering with OpenAI to power a ChatGPT like chatbot. Very smart. Use the guys who basically started the thing, the trendsetters for this whole deal, and get them to work with you instead of trying to make your own bullshit. Emphasizing on user privacy and enable satellite messages when cellular connectivity is unavailable. And just talks about how Apple's the third largest publicly traded US company behind NVIDIA and Microsoft, and has taken a cautious approach to integrating AI into its products compared to its competitors. I think that's pretty smart. I'm not so scared of AI like some people are. I know everybody's just like, gone balls deep into this whole AI thing. I know Elon Musk is very cautious about it. But me personally, I'm not too worried about it. I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan. He talks about, these things, they have the ability to be a god because they know everything. They know our entire history and they can pull it up in a minute. And, all they really need to do is see us. And like, we don't need these inferior beings. We're gods. Yeah, he says that shit. I don't really believe in that. I think it's a tool we can use, and it'll make our lives easier. And it still has a lot of bugs left in it, but I think it's something that they can improve on. And it's pretty cool that Apple is doing what they're doing with it. I have become an Apple nerd. I know I've said it in the past. I've had a little bit of time now with my iPad Pro, and it's pretty fucking dope. Somebody, one of my customers sent me some paperwork I had to fill out, and a lot of it had to be signed. They didn't use DocuSign or anything like that. So I took my little iPencil, my Apple Pencil Pro, and I just wrote on that form like it was paper. No problem. Signed it, sent it back. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's going to make work a lot easier. I can tell you that much. I'm already more productive. And that bitch is so light and so little, I can take it anywhere that has Wi-Fi. So, yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. Well, we have gone on for a very, very long time this time. Well, not too long, about 30 minutes. So, I think we'll end this with, you guessed it, a day in history. Politician and suffragist Jeannette Rankin, born in 1880. President John F. Kennedy sends in Alabama National Guard to integrate University of Alabama in 1963. Anna May Hayes and Elizabeth P. Hoisington are first two women to become generals in the U.S. Armed Forces. An actress and civil rights activist, Ruby Dee, dies in 2014. And here's a quote from Miss Ruby Dee. The greatest gift is not being afraid to question. Well, the greatest gift I can give to you is my soothing voice from this podcast. So don't be afraid to question if you should listen or not. But before you question, let me already give you the answer. You should listen. And follow and subscribe and download our podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. That's right, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube. We're on all of those and more. You should also tell your friends. Share us on social media. Spread the word of Pizain's podcast and Three Bozos. Speaking of social media, you can find us on X, TikTok, and Instagram. Just search Three Bozos or Three Bozos Podcast. Look for the three scary clowns wearing snazzy suits. That's us. Give us a comment. Give us a follow. Let us know you're there. We really appreciate it. Well, that does it for me. This is Pizain the Pizain saying, see ya.